What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to part 10 of our Pokemon Dreamstone Mysteries walkthrough. In the previous video, we defeated the Quill Squad. We helped rescue some of the citizens from the flood. We also made our way up to Mirroh Base Camp where we currently are. And in today's video, we're going to take on the gym leader here and also hopefully make our way to the next city. We did come and chat to this woman. Her house was initially empty, but after defeating Cola in the graveyard, you can come back to the house and she'll give you the Mega Stone for Aerodactyl, which is a really cool item. We also got the Mega Ring in the previous video from the Quill Squad and Maya. So we can use some Mega Evolutions now if you have the Mega Stones for the Pokemon. But let's continue on with the story. We've got a gym leader to face. We enter the gym and apparently the gym leader is only taking one more person on. We defeat the trainers in the gym and the gym leader's name is Carona. So we're going to take on gym leader Carona and see what she's got. The first Pokemon she sends out is a level 31 Toxicroak. We've got Meganium up front, which is now at level 35. I'm hoping Meganium will be able to cause a bit of damage. Unfortunately, Meganium gets knocked out. We send out Skarmory next, and Skarmory just one-shots Toxicroak. I actually forgot to heal up my team before taking on this gym leader, so one of my Pokemon were still knocked out, but we're gonna give it a go, try our best. The next Pokemon they have sent out is Annihilate, level 32, which looks absolutely awesome. I definitely like Annihilate, one of my favorites of the new Pokemon. We knock out Annihilate, and the next Pokemon that is sent out is Pangaroo, level 32. It's an absolute beast of a bear. We send out Gothorita to try and cause some damage. We do put Pangaroo to sleep, so this allows us some time where we can heal up some of our team and revive some of our members. Pangaroo wakes up and knocks Gothorita out. We send out Skarmory again. It's revived and healed up, but it only gets one attack in before getting knocked out again. We send out Lairon next to hopefully knock out Pangaroo. Pangaroo is an absolute weapon. It's just one-shotted Lairon. It's knocked out my Skarmory. It's just knocking out my entire team. We're going to use a max revive on Skarmory because Skarmory's speed is quite fast. And finally, we hit it first and knock out Pangaroo. That Pokemon was a complete nightmare. And now the final Pokemon is Medicham, which is now Mega Evolved. So we're in trouble. I think we've only got Goomy left, which is not very strong. It hasn't evolved yet. We're going to revive Lairon, and I don't know how we're going to defeat this Medicham. We used the move Protect, and luckily Medicham's attack missed and caused damage on itself, knocking itself out. We absolutely won that just by luck. Gym leader Carona was really strong, and I should have healed up my team before taking this trainer on. And we won just by complete luck. Thank goodness Medicham missed our Pokemon and knocked itself out. Otherwise, I think we would have taken the L for that battle. But a win is a win. We're not complaining. We go back to the Master Ball guy, and we still need a lava cookie in order to get a Master Ball from him. We go back to the old woman, and she gives us a bone, which we can give to the dogs, and now that opens the route for us. And just before we leave, the old woman offers us a Mega Evolution Stone, and you can choose one from about 10. So there's a lot to choose from, but we're definitely going to go with the Agronite. It was our first shiny, our Aron. So when our Lairon does evolve into Aggron, we can at least Mega Evolve it using the Agronite Stone. I really can't wait for that. So I'm going to be training up Lairon like crazy and trying to level him up now. But we have made it to a brand new route. It looks like it's an icy tundra. And we're going to explore, hopefully encounter and catch some awesome new Pokemon and take on a lot of trainers. What I did find out about that last gym battle is we need to do some heavy training. Some of our Pokemon might be lacking, especially our little Goomy. We've got to get it evolved ASAP and hopefully evolve the rest of the Pokemon in our team. This is a fairly long route and there are a lot of items to pick up along the way. So make sure you do pick up everything and take on all the trainers. And you can find some cool Pokemon. We have just encountered a little Vulpix, but the ice form, so we're definitely going to try and catch that. And we caught it fairly easily with a Great Ball. Now we've made it up a little staircase. It looks like we're going higher and higher up the mountain. And I'm sure that was the gym leader there with her Medicham, so we'll go and talk to her too and see what she has to say. There's a little garden shop here in the middle of the route too, which is pretty interesting. If you come and talk to these two grass-type Pokemon, they offer to teach one of your Pokemon a unique attack. So if you have any grass types, you might want to consider some of those. But when you come talk to the salesman, there's an item called Seed of Time. It's free. You definitely want to buy it. That's the most important thing. You need it to get a legendary Pokemon. And that video is coming. It's probably going to be out in 2 or 3 more videos where I'll show you how to catch all the legendary Pokemon in this game. But be sure to pick up that Seed of Time, same as in the previous town where they had the coin case for free. But that's probably the most important thing to do at that shop. We can continue on now. The gym leader is just meditating there on the mountain, so we'll leave her alone to do her thing. And here we have found Hiker Breach, our old friend, and he's given us one of 2 items again. So we're going to go with the Rocky Helmet. I love that it's an awesome hold item. And if your Pokemon's holding it and gets hit with any physical attacks, the attacker will take a little bit of damage. It's one of my favorite hold items, and we're definitely going to be using that moving forward. We enter a cave and find a Glimmet, which we have just caught. And that's a super underrated Pokemon. I actually used it for the first time in my Pokemon Unbreakable Ties walkthrough, and it was really strong in the beginning of the game. We have found a nurse and a whole bunch of Chansey in the cave, and the nurse says one of the Chansey is missing and she asks for our help, so we take on that little side quest. We also just caught the Ice-type Sandshrew, which is a cool Pokemon. So I guess we've got to look for a missing Chansey and see if we can find our way through this cave. We also just encountered a Swinub, which we have caught, so we've got loads of cool Ice-type Pokemon now. If you were waiting for an Ice-type Pokemon, now is your chance. There are so many cool ones here. We take on a couple trainers, and it looks like there was a little item there for us to pick up. We find a Revive in one of the stones, and then we find a Bergmite in the other stone. We'll definitely try and catch this too. We're going to have to go down and push those other stones using strength to get the item. I don't want to continue on without collecting that. And it's just a little zinc item, so that could be useful, or you could sell it. But let's continue on and see if we can find this missing Chansey. In terms of Ice-type Pokemon, I would really like to use Swinub in a playthrough because Mamoswine is also just an absolute weapon. We found another rare shard there, so I think we must have close to 10 rare shards now. You could definitely make one of your Pokemon's EVs absolutely perfect by using all the stones. And here there's a little puzzle. We made a mistake by accident, so we just left the area to reset it. And we have found the Chansey here. We've got to battle the trainer first and then push these stones in a specific way. It's not too difficult, but we have rescued the Chansey. And we're back at the nurse. She's really happy that we helped her out, and she gives us an Eviolite as a thank you. But now we can continue on and try and make our way out of this cave. We pick up a Revive and go down the ladder. There are a couple trainers here training and getting stronger. We take on a few trainers for a battle and continue on. It looks like there is a section here where the ground can break. That's also really important to note. We will be back in this cave in that area where the ground is cracked. We just need to get another item first. But do remember the spot because we will be coming back again. This cave has been pretty big. We've taken on so many trainers already. And it's kind of like a maze. There's so many different paths you can take. And we've fought so many different trainers. We just picked up an ice stone, and here's like another little puzzle where we got Will-O-Wisp, the fire type attack that burns its attacker. Now we found another ladder, and that leads to triple axe, so that ladder is just to get that little TM. We try and work our way through this little stone puzzle again. We want to try and make it to the northern spot there. And finally we do. We also find a little item hidden in the stone there. You have to keep checking the stones for hidden items. We take on another trainer and we find another ladder. And there's another little stone puzzle here to push through, which is also fairly easy. You just move one to the right, one to the left, one to the right, one to the left. And finally, we've made it out of the cave, and there's a statue here. We have found another statue, but that's all there is to do until we have surf. But we haven't headed to the western side, so we're going to try and move these stones out the way to head west. And hopefully this leads to another exit. But then we find Team Somber Grunts. So it looks like we got another battle with Team Somber. They send out a Grimer and a Mime Junior. Their Pokemon are level 33 and 34. Some of our Pokemon are also around that level, our weaker Pokemon like Gumi. And some of our stronger Pokemon are already at around level 40. So we're doing pretty well. We just have to strengthen up some of our weaker Pokemon. Gumi gets knocked out and we've only got our Houndour left. And Houndour's name is Bow Wow because it was a traded Pokemon, so the old trainer named it Bow Wow. And Houndour is level 34 now, so we've trained it up a bit, but it's also got a lot of work to do. Hopefully it will help out our team a lot. And finally, we've made it out of that cave. We've picked up TM Blizzard, and we've got to heal our team ASAP. There's a little sign here pointing to the mountain, and it looks like there's a whole bunch of Team Somber up here. I'm not ready for a battle at all. Our team is code red at the moment. But we enter the cave, and this is actually the next little town. So you can buy a whole bunch of items here. There's a Pokemart inside. We desperately have to restock up on some items. There's a Pokemon Center, and there's actually loads to do in this little town. I love that they've added it in a cave. That's pretty unique. I've never played a Pokemon game where there's a town in the cave, so I do like that they added that. We're going to come and explore the town before we end off the video. In the first little house, we get given a cell battery, which is a cool hold item. And I believe in this town you can also do mining, which is super important. We're going to touch on that in one of the future videos. We also find a Mime Junior here, which just vanishes after giving us an item, so it must have teleported somewhere else. But here's the little area where you can do some mining, and I'm going to show you all the items that you can get while doing this, and it's a really good way to make money fast. As you can see in this mining session, there were only 2 items to find, and we found both of them. We got a light clay and a green shard. In this little house, you can choose between 2 different armors, and this is to evolve Charcadet. So you can either choose the armor to evolve it into Cerulege or the armor to evolve it into Armorage. We definitely went with Cerulege, but we haven't got a Charcadet yet. I think you have to go back to that Detective Academy to get one. That's all for this one. Thanks for watching.